Senior living operators face a complex set of challenges. How do you stay ahead of the pack? Listen in to From Leads to Leases, a CCR Growth podcast for expert solutions that transform problems into opportunities. And maybe someday soon you'll partner with us to generate $1.5 million and up in additional revenue per community in just 12 months.
Hey, welcome back to From Leads to Leases, where we cut through the industry noise to bring you actionable insights in senior living marketing and sales. I'm Jerry Vinci, CEO of CCR Growth, here to simplify the complex landscape of senior living. Today, in episode 6, we're diving deep into decoding success and more specifically about the data-driven revolution in senior living. I want to chat about all the ways data has transformed marketing, sales, and operations and the resident experience. So you might already be thinking, why data? Why is it so important? Because knowledge is power. In the fast-paced world of senior living with so many different options available to residents, understanding the heartbeat of your prospective residents and their families isn't just beneficial, it's essential for your survival and your growth. Data analytics doesn't just play a role in that, it's leading the charge. This isn't about swimming in a sea of numbers, it's about making those numbers work for you, turning data into strategic assets that propel your communities forward. Every click, interaction, chat conversation, and social media engagement paints a picture, a detailed map of preferences, needs, and desires. It's gold waiting to be mined. But here's the catch. It's not just about having this gold, it's knowing what to do with it. For senior living communities, data analytics is the alchemy that transforms this raw information into golden insights, driving decisions that genuinely resonate with your audience. But before we can move forward, let's take a step back. While we're discussing the importance of data, we need to also appreciate the seismic shifts data has brought to our industry over the last decade. The evolution is nothing short of revolutionary, propelling us into a future where every marketing message, operational decision, and resident interaction is informed by deep, actionable insights. First, the data-driven era has ushered in unparalleled personalization, so much so that we've come to expect it. There was actually a recent report by McKinsey & Company called Next in Personalization 2021 that highlighted just how impactful personalization in marketing was to driving company growth. And keep in mind, this study was 3 years ago. So just imagine how much more this has progressed since then. The report showed sales growth of up to 40% just by adopting more personalized strategies to connect with prospects. But even more interesting to me was the fact that over 70% of respondents surveyed had come to expect brands to personalize communication. And if that didn't happen, 76% of respondents said they found that frustrating. So it's pretty clear that the majority of our audience is done with generic marketing and prefers messages that resonate on a personal level. This isn't just about being relevant, it's about making each prospective resident feel seen and understood as an individual. Next, we should reflect on the leap we've made from traditional lead generation like print advertising and direct mail and word-of-mouth referrals and cold calling to a world where every click, every interaction is a breadcrumb leading us to a better, more effective conversion strategy. Today, our CRM systems don't just track leads, they reveal the story behind each interaction, guiding us to fine-tune our approach and convert leads with unprecedented precision. Elevating resident experiences with real-time data is a huge advantage in today's senior living market as well. The resident experience is transformed from a static to a dynamic, ever-evolving journey. With instant feedback and real-time data, we're no longer guessing what our residents want. Now we know. And this knowledge allows us to adjust and enhance our services, amenities, and activities to keep pace with residents' desires and experiences. I think this is a big one since many senior living providers are struggling to keep up with technology. Let me just give you a few examples of just how data can impact and improve resident retention and satisfaction. Because occupancy numbers are waning across the board, and a lot of senior living providers are trying to figure out why. But keep in mind, all of these personalization methods have been dramatically transformed or developed in the last decade. So it really is about senior living providers getting in with the latest technology and getting on board with it. and adopting it into their existing strategies or replacing them altogether. So, first up, personalized activity recommendations. So imagine a system so smart that it notices Mrs. Johnson's frequent visits to the community website's gardening page. Next thing you know, she's getting a personalized invite to a gardening club meeting happening that weekend. It's about making every resident feel like your community is tailor-made for them. Then there's the magic of real-time satisfaction surveys. So picture this, a resident finishes a meal at the dining hall and instantly receives a digital survey on their tablet. They mentioned the soup was a bit too salty. The kitchen gets this feedback immediately, and just like that, the recipe's tweaked for the next meal. It's about showing your residents that their voice matters in real time. Don't forget about smart home integrations too. We're talking about tech that adjusts a resident's living environment to their exact preferences without them lifting a finger. Mr. Smith likes his room cooler at night? No problem. The smart thermostat learns this and adjusts automatically. Health monitoring and response is also a big one. With wearable devices or room sensors, you can keep an eye on vital health metrics. A sudden change in Mrs. Davis's heart rate, for example, staff gets alerted and checks on her right away. It's not just care, it's proactive. That makes all the difference. In regards to health, there was a recent study done by NIC who commissioned NORC at the University of Chicago to assess the relationship between senior housing and longevity outcomes for older adults. The 2-year study found that senior housing residents live longer than those who were living in non-congregate spaces. And non-congregate just means anyone living within a private living space, albeit a home, an apartment, a motel room, etc. But my suspicion is that this has a lot to do with the advancements in personalized technology to improve the quality of life of residents, whereas individuals living on their own would be less likely to receive the same level of companionship or care or attention or access to this type of technology. Next, personalized communications have also helped with resident satisfaction. For example, you might know that John prefers text while Mary likes emails. So now you can make sure that's how they receive their community updates and personal messages. It keeps everyone connected in a way they like best, and that increases the likelihood of further engagement and even more feedback and communication. Last but not least, even something like activity scheduling has become more dynamic. If you see a spike in attendance at the weekly jazz night, you don't just pat yourself on the back. You use that data to schedule more sessions, maybe even bring in more live bands similar to the ones your residents love. It's about keeping your community vibrant, alive, and in tune with your residents' interests. Their likes and dislikes should be driving how you evolve and not just management sticking with what has always worked. So next, let's look at some operational decisions driven by data. So gone are the days of intuition-led decisions. For operations, they can leverage data analytics for everything from staffing to facility maintenance, dining preferences, and personalized resident care plans. This shift means your operational choices are not just informed, but optimized for efficiency, effectiveness, and resident satisfaction. And I'll dig into just a few of these for you. Let's look at staffing. So data can reveal patterns in resident activity levels and care needs, allowing communities to adjust staffing levels accordingly. If data shows higher resident activity in the evenings or more assistance required during certain times of the day, managers can allocate more staff during those peak times to ensure residents' needs are met efficiently, enhancing both resident satisfaction and staff productivity. And we hear all too often when monitoring negative reviews for some communities that there isn't enough staff. The truth is, there probably is, they're just not showing up when they're needed most. Next, data can assist operations in areas such as maintenance and energy usage. For example, predictive analytics might indicate when an HVAC system is likely to fail or when energy consumption is at its highest or lowest. This could also involve adjusting lighting or heating and cooling based on occupancy or the time of day, all of which would dramatically lower costs and improve sustainability across the community's operations. So lastly, we need to talk about sales, which may be one of the best examples of how effective interpretation and application of good data in your strategy will exponentially impact growth. The first great use of data would be to enhance the sales team's response strategies. For example, analysis of prospect communication data reveals that Leads in your community often lose interest after 48 hours without hearing from a sales team member. Armed with this insight, your community could revamp its inquiry response strategy by introducing automated, personalized responses followed up by a personal call within 24 hours. This approach could significantly reduce drop-off rates, increase engagement and conversion rates as potential residents feel valued and heard right from the start. You also have to assume they're not just reaching out to you, they're reaching out to multiple communities. And if that's the case, if you're late to the game, late to reach out, if you're taking 48 hours or longer to make first contact, chances are your competitors have already made contact and you're already that much further behind in winning that lead. So next, how about using data to streamline the tour booking process? Data from the CRM highlights a common drop-off point: potential residents hesitating to book a tour after visiting the website. In response, your community could do a few things. A, they could integrate an easy-to-use tour scheduling tool directly on the website, coupled with a follow-up email sequence for those who initiate but don't complete the booking. Or B, an even less aggressive step would be developing an interactive virtual tour after collecting their basic contact information through the website that would allow sales reps to collect data on which areas of the community tour get the most interest and use that to tailor an in-person tour experience or a follow-up email sequence to address those points of interest. The virtual tour could even show them specific areas of the community that that person was most interested in, so that can be completely personalized to their needs. So simple data-driven strategic tweaks like this could lead to a noticeable increase in booked tours and reduce pinch points in the sales funnel. These types of value-add engagements also shorten the sales cycle dramatically and don't require a lot of heavy lifting for the sales team since most of the touch points are automated. Lastly, sales teams can utilize data to enhance their understanding of lead quality and prioritization. Not all leads are created equal. We all know that. And not all leads are even great sales leads. They might be good marketing leads, but the sales teams think they suck. Well, imagine having a crystal ball that tells you which leads are ready to make a move in and which are just browsing. That's lead scoring for you. And by analyzing interactions from website visits to email opens and more, sales teams can assign scores to leads. A high score, you've got a hot lead likely to convert. And there are even more ways to ensure that a lead is likely to convert. On top of lead scoring, you could also utilize predictive analytics to identify patterns. For example, did most of your converted leads attend the webinar or visit the community twice? Predictive analytics spots these trends, allowing sales teams to tailor strategies that nurture leads along a similar journey, optimizing the path to conversion. So now that we're looking ahead, predictive analytics has become our compass for navigating future challenges and opportunities. By analyzing trends and forecasting needs, you're not just reacting to the present, you're proactively planning for the future, ensuring your communities remain resilient and responsive. The integration of technology has got to streamline how you manage, market, and maintain your communities. Data now provides a holistic view and connects the dots between operations, sales, and resident care in ways that were once unimaginable. Embracing data analytics isn't a one-time deal. It's about continuously refining your strategy. It's a cycle of learning, adapting, and improving that keeps your communities not just competitive, but ahead of the curve. It's about building a culture where every decision is informed, every strategy is data-backed, and every success is replicable and scalable. As we wrap up today's episode, remember, giving into data analytics is giving into the future of senior living, and the future is now. It's about leveraging every piece of information to not only meet the needs of your potential residents today, but to anticipate the needs of tomorrow and to anticipate the needs of your existing residents. Thanks for joining me on From Leads to Leases. If the thought of harnessing data to dramatically transform your marketing and sales strategies excites you, let's connect. If it scares you, let's connect. I would love to have that conversation with you. Together, we can pave the way for a data-driven future in senior living where every decision is informed, every strategy is impactful, and every community is a testament to the power of data. So stay tuned, stay informed, and most importantly, stay ahead of the game. Don't miss out on more insights. Subscribe to our podcast. Together, we're setting new standards in senior living marketing and sales, one episode at a time. I'm Jerry Vinci, CEO of CCR Growth, here to guide you to success. Until next time, lead with strategy and with heart. Chat with you again soon.
Thanks for tuning in. Explore more at ccrgrowth.com. At CCR Growth, we've developed the Senior Growth Innovation Suite to unlock an additional $1.5 million and up in revenue per senior living community within a year. We specialize in generating quality leads, expediting sales, and reducing acquisition costs. Let's connect soon.